Alright, so this is the Marcy Home Gym. Package just arrived and I'm going to unbox this, do a review, put it together right over there. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And yeah. Alright, so you get 3 boxes right off the bat. These 2 are heavy as heck though, so this is probably where the weight are going to be. Ooh. Yep. Okay, once you take all your stuff out, definitely get a stool. You're gonna need it. And we're just gonna start building it from step 1. Oh, this is step 1 completed. You have this part, nuts and bolts at the bottom. 2 of these poles facing hose is going through. And the little bumper. Yeah, little bumper. Yep, so moving on to step 2. Right, step 2 is complete. Moving on to step 3. Okay. Oh, step 3 is added. And moving on to step number 4. Yeah, 4. Oh, step 4 done. Moving on to step 5. All right, so far so good. Step 5 is done. Moving on to step 6. Okay, step 6 is completed. You're just adding weights. And by the way, before you do step 6, make sure you move this exactly where you want it to be, or else you're gonna have to carry all of this 200-pound weight with the machine, which is not gonna be pretty. So move it first and then add the weight and you'll be good to go. Okay. Right, step 7 is done. It's just a lightweight little rod for the clip, and then the handle here to hold your weight in place. All right, so step 8 completed. Yeah, kind of tired. Let's move on to step 9, then I'll take a break. All right, just finished step 9. this part. We're gonna move on to step 10. Yeah. Okay, step 10 was to assemble the left and the right arm that goes up here. And I think step 11 is to put them up there. So let's go. Step 11 is to attach the 2 arms that we did in step 10. And that's it. Moving on to step 11, step 12. Moving on to step 12. Okay, so as you can see, step 12 was to assemble or put on bottom seat and this back seat here. Now let's move on to step 13. All right, step 13 was to assemble this pad for your bicep. Now let's move on to step 14. All right, step 14. Yeah, step 14 was to put this thing on. I'm guessing for your leg extensions, leg curl. Oh, and when you do this, make sure you don't make this very tight or you won't be able to move it at all. And make sure that this little round part is facing outwards. So moving on to step 15. All right, step 15 was to put on these 2 pads here. And now we're gonna move on to step 16. Okay, step 16 was to put these 2 on this thing on either sides of this bar. And now we're moving on to step 17. All right, step 17 was to put this plastic thing, the metal piece, onto the weight. Now moving on to step 18. All right, so for step 18, you want to get the cable that has the screw at the end, bring it around through, up, over, down, in here, and then you want to screw it in at the bottom where the weight attaches to. So I'm going to do that right now and move on to step 19. So for step 19, pretty much just gather all the pieces you need for the pulley. Step 20, we're going to install it in, and yeah. All right, so for step 20, as you can see, you're going to put in your pulley. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Moving on to step 21. Okay, for step 21, we attach the pulley for the chest movement. So this is what you have at the bottom here. Pretty straightforward. And I say do one at a time. So go from here to here, bottom, and then come back up and through here, or else you might get stuck halfway through. Moving on to step 22. All right, for step 22, we're just gonna attach the bottom pulley and bring it through this one and attach it over here. Next step is step 23. All right, so this is step 23 and 24. Pretty much just attaching the pulleys, one here, one here, one here, goes up through here, at the bottom here, and then come up all the way up here, and then finally, and then, this is the end point. So that's it. This is done, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a test run, see how this thing works, how smooth it is, and get some clips for you guys and tell you what my review is of this machine. So yeah, let's do that.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
Alright, now after going through the equipment and a few exercises, I feel pretty comfortable with what I just bought. And I think if this is your first gym equipment in your home, you're going to have a good time using it. There are a lot of things to do on this machine, and with practice, you can just fine tune different exercises that you do. Considering the fact that the flies, I guess chest flies, the way that they have it, I'm 5'7", right? So it's really too high up for me to really get a good contraction. That's why you see I have to just pretty much bring my hands in and just kind of adapt to the equipment, right? If you're going to be shorter than me, definitely look out for that too. Luckily, when you're doing the lat pull downs or any kind of pull down movements, they do have the chain, so you can adjust that pretty easily. At the bottom portion of the pulley system, the bicep curls on the pad there really sucks. Like when you get over to halfway up, you pretty much lose tension in your biceps. So it's probably better for you to do it standing up. Again, you have to adapt to this machine, and I need another week or two to really get a hang of what I'm doing with this equipment and try to just mimic what I'm already doing at the gym onto this home gym equipment. But if this is your first equipment, like I said, you're gonna have a good time, and definitely try to, if you can, look up on how to do certain exercises so that you can make sure that your form is right. Because if you try to follow the exercises on the dashboard of the equipment, you might not get a good contraction, but you're still gonna get a good workout though. So after all that rambling, I'm gonna rate this a 9 out of 10. I took a point off because of two things. Number one, the pad on the bicep curl, when you're halfway up, you lose tension in your biceps, and I don't like that. So you're better off just doing it standing up, which is also good. And secondly, the seat is not adjustable, and I'm 5'7", so certain things are gonna be pretty hard for me to do anyway. And if you are the same height as me, you're gonna have a bit more difficult time, especially if you are a beginner trying to figure out what to do correctly. So I recommend you look up exercise videos on how to do different exercises correctly, of course, or you just watch me, because I'll be using this equipment a lot. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like this video, and if you want to see more workout videos on this machine, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. So enjoy.